Good morning, guys. Today we're going to look at SPI 5.5. That's randomized experiments and observational studies. That's really just looking at different experiments or studies and trying to decide, did we have an impact or did we not have an impact on it? So let's look at the first example. A psychologist is studying the effect of watching television on children's behavior. Which scenario describes an observational study? So there it is, observational study. Well, what's an observational study? That usually means look but don't touch. The things that happen in an observational study, we watch the group doing things that they would have been doing on their own. The kids were already going to be watching TV or not watching TV. Now we're just watching to see what's the behavior about those two kids. We're not going to change the behavior of any of the group members. They're going to do the exact same things they would have done whether we were having this study or not. We just want to see which classification does which things that they were doing already. So let's read through each one. Find 100 children who are each about 2 years old and have been watching television for less than 2 hours daily. All right, these 100 kids have already been watching TV less than 200 hours. Choose 50 of the children and have them watch television for more than 200 hours. So we're actually changing the behavior of 50 of the kids in this one. So because we are changing what they were already doing, that's out. It's no longer observational. Now it becomes experimental. Now let's go to choice B. Find 50 children who are each about 2 years old and have been watching TV for less than 2 hours daily. Already watch TV, okay, for less than 2 hours. Find 50 more children of the same age who have been watching television for more than 2 hours daily. So these other 50 already are watching TV for more than 2 hours. Collect the data, analyze the data, draw the conclusions. So that one sounds pretty good. We haven't changed anything. They were already watching TV for less than 2 hours or already watching TV for more than 2 hours. We're just going to watch them do it and see how they behave. So that one looks pretty observational, but you have to always go through and read all of them just to make sure. Choice C. Find 100 children who are each about 2 years old and have been watching TV for more than 2 hours daily. All right, so this group already watches TV. Randomly choose 50 of the children and have them watch television for less than 2 hours daily. So now we're changing the behavior of this group, so if we change anything, choice C is out. Choice D, find 50 children who are each about 2 years old and have been watching TV. So we already have our kids have been watching TV. Randomly choose 25 of them to have them watch TV for less than 2 hours daily. So again, we're changing what they were already doing. They were watching TV. We're changing half of them to not watching TV. So since we impacted the group, that makes it experimental instead of observational. We touched, but we didn't just look. So D is out, meaning that B is the only one that was an observational study. Now let's go on to the next example. Now, which scenario describes a randomized experiment to find out if regular exercise helps reduce sleep difficulties in older adults? So randomized experiment. Now let's look. Find 100 adults who are each about 60 years old. 50 of the adults should have been exercising regularly, and the remaining adults should have been sedentary. Over a 30-day period, collect data on sleep difficulties, analyze, and draw conclusions. Well, we know that we talked about in the last section, randomized observationals where we look but don't touch. Well, randomized experiment, we want to randomly decide which subjects get which treatments. Well, here in A, we're not deciding who exercises and who doesn't. This was 50 people already exercise and the other 50 don't. So this is observational because we didn't change any of their behavior. So choice A is out. So let's go look at choice B. Choice B, find 100 adults who are each about 60 years old. 50 of the adults should have been exercising, but not regularly. The remaining adults should have been sedentary. Over a 30-day period, collect data on sleep difficulties among the 100 adults, analyze and draw conclusions. So again, 50 people that were already doing something. The other 50 were not doing anything. We didn't change anything. So again, not experimental, it's observational. So B is no good. Now we get to C. Find 100 adults who are each about 60 years old and do not exercise. So we got 100 people that don't exercise. Randomly assign 50 of the adults to an exercise program. So we are assigning 50 of them. We are changing the behavior of 50 of these adults, putting them on a specific exercise program. So that's us affecting the group. That's a randomized experiment. So C looks really good. Now let's go on to choice D, just to eliminate all of them. Find 100 adults who are each about 60 years old and exercise regularly. randomly assigned 50 of the adults to stop exercising. So it's kind of like C is just reverse situation. All of these already exercised, and we're picking 50 of them to stop exercising. After 6 months, observe and collect data on sleep difficulties in the 100 adults over a 30-day period, analyze the data, and draw conclusions. So C and D actually sound very, very similar. They're both randomized experiments. They both fit the definition of randomly decide which subjects get which treatments. So now we got to go back and figure out which one answers the question that's asked. Well, what do they want to know? Which one's an experiment to find out if regular exercise helps reduce sleep difficulty? So what did they assign for them? In choice C, these people did not exercise, and they assigned an exercise program to those people. Okay, they didn't just say go out and do some exercise. They said here's a specific exercise program we want you to do. Choice D, these people already exercised on their own, and we just told 50 of them to stop. So we have 50 that exercise on their own, 50 of them that don't. Okay, now we're wanting to see if regular exercise, any kind of exercise done regularly, would help. Not a specific program like was assigned in C, but the exercise that they already do on their own. So that's where choice D is the better experiment for this particular scenario. So choice C is out because they were assigning a specific program. D allowed them to do any exercise, which is what we wanted to see, if any kind of exercise helps reduce sleep difficulty. So choice D is the answer. That's observational versus experimental. Observational, look but don't touch. Experimental, you have some kind of impact on what's going on, and you just kind of got to dig around and really analyze and read carefully. It's not a lot of math involved in it from a computation standpoint, but it is a lot of analysis. So read carefully, and those should be a couple of easy problems that we should be able to get on randomized experiments and observational studies. I'll see you in class tomorrow, guys.